asteroid, a missile, who knows? A piece of a plane, or this would.
Well, I thought we were done. I really thought, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a nice, quiet Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and yeah, it's another plane crash. It's in Northeast Philadelphia, and I'm going to show this. Oh my God! Another plane crash. I can't believe this. I know everybody's going live about it. This is
now, but the closure extends farther back.
crazy.
So on Roosevelt Boulevard, so we're talking one.
I'm trying
That
to.
is closed between Tyson Avenue and.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actually track down which plane it was, and I'm looking at the flight radar right now. So let's keep watching the news. But yeah, so hey Pigeon, welcome to another plane crash live stream.
That's where
This
the
is
roads
terrible.
are closed
This
right
is
now.
absolutely
And then
terrible.
on top of that,
And it
all these
crashed
slowdowns as we look at the live traffic flow.
Okay.
And the black, by the way,
So I
is where
found
things are
exactly
closed, and
where
they give you a little feel of exactly
it's
where things are.
located. So if you look closer, it's located right here at the Cottman Avenue.
Around the area.
I'm
That's slowing
trying
things
to
down on
find the
95.
flight
In other
tracker.
words, not letting folks exit onto the Cottman Avenue exit just to keep people moving along. So that's just a little bit of a feel for what we're seeing on the traffic maps right now, Jason.
Yeah, that's helpful. This is
figure out
obviously an
exactly
incredibly
where it
dense
is.
area, probably the
There's
most
this
dense area,
video.
really, if you think about Northeast Philly. I mean,
There's this
really
video.
a terrible location for something like this. There is no
Okay.
location for it, obviously, but the
Stream is
Northeast
very
Philly Airport,
glitchy.
there are private jets, there are twin-engine jets, there are
Could be
private type
on my
jets that
end
fly out of
because
this airport, and
because
Cessnas
I
as
got
well.
the flight
There are
radar
people on the scene
open.
sending in pictures of what
Alright,
they
that's
believe
fine.
is
Let's see.
a
Does
tail,
this work?
a number
Oh,
from a
fixed
plane
it.
that we'll wait to report. But
Okay.
this is not a
I'm gonna try to
small
figure out if I can.
Cessna per se. This is larger than that. At least it appears
Oh,
to
it's
be.
larger than
When you
Cessna?
look at that explosion like that, you have to assume it's a larger plane, and
Let me know if it's
we might have
let
to.
me know if it's
it might
glitchy
be weeks
because I'm
before we
trying
find out
to
exactly what happened.
get
What would
actually, you
cause
know
a
what?
plane to fall from the
I'm
sky
trying
the way
to
this
check
did?
the flight
On the
radar
left
so
of
it
your
might
screen, you're
start
looking at
getting
another
glitchy.
fire
Yeah, another
that
one.
looks like it's
This
coming
is
from
insane.
underground, perhaps a gas line fueling that fire.
This is happening
That is new
right
video from
now.
our Steve Keeley. So this is what Steve was seeing. He was describing what appeared to be a gas line that was causing flames to twirl in like a top. He said.
I wonder.
But you
And
see the
it's
red
a
tape too.
hit
That is
shopping area.
obviously
And
do not
there are
cross.
people over there. Oh my God!
Investigators will be there for days and days, I would imagine, to try to figure out
not again.
what happened. And there are several
Not
little fires
again.
like that
Come
burning
on.
across the area of this strip mall. You see the Ross and some of the signs of this outdoor mall in this area. On the right, you see a lot of firefighters waiting on orders on what to do and where to go. They may have to go door to door, car to car, store to store, checking on everyone involved.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to find the flight that actually flew. Let me know if the streams start becoming glitchy, because I'm not moving from the screen. So let me know if it becomes glitchy. But I'm looking at the flight radar right now to see if I can find, because I found an area exactly where it was crashed. So I'm looking at tracking some flights. Yep, it became glitchy. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Seeing that there were 6
Not
people on
looking.
a plane that had just taken off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport. 2 pilots, 2 doctors, a patient, and a family member is what they're telling me. And I said, "Is that confirmed?" They said, "Yeah." So that's the word Philly police got early on here at the scene. And again, I just want to caution, everything's preliminary when police get this information. But that is what they're being told from folks, I guess, working at the airport, because they're in communication with them, obviously. I was sent a picture of the plane. We'll hold that for now. That's still, but that's officially confirmed. But it was a larger than usual. I'm with Fox.
2 doctors?
All right. So I'm sorry. That's police just looking out for my own good. And the smoke is billowing again. So, Jason, I sent in video of the flames I was telling you about the gas line. You got it, brother. Thank you.
Did he say there was a?
So
did he say it was 2 doctors? 2 doctors and the patient?
So we're moving away
Hey,
from the gas
dehydrated
line.
butter.
and the sound of new sirens
yeah, it does.
and more trucks
like a
showing up
missile.
because there's so much on fire here, and the smoke is still billowing.
Here, let me show this from X. So this video.
Meu Deus! Quase que a nossa casa pegou fogo! Ai, meu Deus! Ai, meu Deus!
God. Oh.
Ai, meu Deus! Ai, meu Deus, o carro pegou fogo! Ai, meu Deus, nossa casa pegou fogo!
Oh my God!
Ai, meu Deus! Ai, meu Deus! Ai, meu Deus!
Oh, this is
Vou entrar lá dentro,
terrible.
Kevin, com eles! Meu Deus! Quase que a nossa...
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Thank you. They said
yeah.
Because they just chased me this way. But go.
Wow.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Oh boy.
Steve obviously having to do some navigating here with police who are
Yep,
asking
we're
him to
back again.
move for his own
There's another
safety.
plane
So he's
crash.
trying to do that and try to get to a safe place while giving us a little play-by-play of what he's seeing. On the left is video Steve took about 5 to 10 minutes ago of a twirling fire being fueled by an underground gas line in the parking lot of Roosevelt Mall. And on the right is a live picture on a rainy night here in Northeast Philly of the response from firefighters, hundreds, if not more, dozens there, trying to really just get a handle on what has happened.
This is crazy. I literally thought I'm gonna go meet up with friends for dinner,
with twin
and have like a nice little relaxed Friday night.
That happened about an hour and 15 minutes ago. This obviously kind of a chaotic scene here.
So they say there was a doctor and a patient on board, and there was a plane was a little bigger than Cessna.
Telling a top police source telling Steve Keeley that this was a plane that was carrying 2 pilots, 2 doctors, a patient, and a family member. So this sounds like it was some kind of medical transport situation. 6 people on that plane. Steve describing it as larger than usual. It's not a small plane, obviously involved in some kind of medical transport, according to top Philadelphia law enforcement officials. And just to see the fire, cars on fire, and this chaotic scene, Steve obviously moving about, trying to bring us the latest details, while also trying to stay safe himself, talking about just how hard it is to breathe and the smoke in the air. And then we have all these
the video
EMT and EMS
there's
workers on the scene.
Video,
also,
it looks like a
rocket to
flew
make the
in.
situation as safe as it can be for people there on the scene.
Yeah, and that's the first I'm hearing about a medical flight, perhaps, and then you start to wonder what kind of equipment, what kind of items are on this plane that may have caused this crash to be even worse. As far as the explosion goes, I mean, it just it was almost in a nosedive. As it's
hey, you know what? Let's go on Citizen app.
The angle in which
this
plane, as it's described, was coming down from the doorbell camera from about half mile away.
Yep, it's going to be a long year.
There it is on the left of your screen, and
it's coming up.
Fireball, and it's just
okay. So let's see if we can find something on the Citizen.
Plane, but it appears to be. And again, Northeast Philly Airport's less than 2 miles away.
And people saying, Jason, that they heard an explosion, they heard this happen, and then they looked up into the sky. People, reaching out to us on the phone, via email. There you see it again, just crashing down, coming out of the sky out of nowhere, and then that huge fireball. People say they felt the ground shake. Certainly
it's like a
scary
rocket
and frightening situation. I mean, this is the ring cam video that we've been showing you this evening, and can you imagine seeing this from the front door and wondering what in the world is happening?
Well, especially when you think about what just happened in Washington, D.C.
Oh my God. Okay, so wait. Okay. I see it. So we have, I'm going to share this tab instead. So far, this is at least 6 killed after a small plane crash into the house, cars and residential area of Northeast Philadelphia. Let's see if we can. And this is verified. Some videos. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come on. Come on. I want to expand. Why can't I expand? Okay, so all 6 occupants of the plane are deceased, according to Fox News. Police are asking residents to please stay indoors due to toxic fumes from the fires. Radio clips available. Radio clips available. Okay. See if we can listen to these radio clips. If we can listen to the... Oh, this is awful. Oh my god, look at that black smoke. Oh no. And it's a shopping area and residential area, I believe. Oh my goodness. Okay. See, I wanna hear some radio clips. Some earlier. Oh my god!
What's happening?
Run! Okay, so she was running and saying like, "Oh my god, it's gonna explode," and it says reconnecting. Okay, what is this? Just say, "Oh my god, it's gonna explode," and it says reconnecting. Oh my god, no! This is no! Listen to this again. Come on. And it said reconnecting.
What's happening?
Fullback is gonna explode, and it says reconnected. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, so what is this one? Okay, this one's kind of hard to see.
There's another plane crash, like as in like it happened the other day.
It's reconnecting. I bet because everybody's trying to stream in that area right now. That's why it's probably like saying it's reconnecting and stuff. So this is from a Citizen app. So basically what is really happening on the ground right now. Oh my god, look at that smoke.
I don't know what that just was, but I'm right by the PetSmart, Pet Boys, and
yeah, well, girl, that was an explosion. Her whole house shook.
It's a fucking plane. Look at that.
Well, we can't see it. You're very...
A plane crashed.
Oh my god. It is a residential areas in there
A plane
too.
a plane crashed. Look at that.
Plane
Look at that eternal fire there. Jesus Christ.
Everybody.
Not good up here at
Oh
all.
my god. Oh, this video's choppy.
That's what I'm saying. What's wrong with him?
Whoop his ass. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, let's continue watching some of these videos.
I know who you are. Come on.
Can I get?
Yeah, just go the long way, boys. Go the long way.
All right, brother. All right.
Just stay on the other side of this tape line right here,
I will.
okay? All right, appreciate it.
Oh.
A plane has crashed right off the boulevard at Cottman Avenue. It's on fire. It's not under
Cottman
control.
Avenue.
It looks like a side street. All police and fire.
Oh. I would not want to be an emergency
like
manager right now.
I'm in a debris field.
God, there's a
They're
debris.
roping off the parking lot. There is thick smoke and the smell of jet fuel.
Oh, you imagine people that were there. They were actually
I'm working,
there.
I'm sorry, with Fox. I need to get my, I should have worn a jacket. Sorry, brother.
Just go down around that
I will. There's pieces of the plane here. We're near Northeast Philly Airport.
You guys let me know if it's choppy or not. I want
There
to
are lines of police and fire as far as I can see. Black smoke filling the sky over the shopping plaza.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, the debris field must be pretty wide. And that's because they say it was larger than Cessna, so it was a medical transport. So there was a doctors on board
affected.
and a patient.
We're right across from a busy shopping center.
I wonder what happened. Oh, I want to look at the.
So
I want to look at the app.
Pieces of the plane are in the Roosevelt Mall parking lot. It looks like
it's choppy.
According to police, that's why they're roping that off.
The video itself is choppy. Like the actual video is choppy.
This was as close.
Yeah, the video on Citizen app is pretty choppy too. Let's close some stuff out. What is this video? Oh, somebody sitting in traffic. Okay. Let's see, where's the last?
Smells like straight.
What's this one? Whoa, look at that smoke. Yeah. I know. Okay, let's see what else we got. Wow. Okay, let's get back. I'll keep an eye on Citizen app to see if it's like keeps loading and stuff. But let's get back into the Fox News. Let's see what they saying over there.
If it is, let's say it is a light jet, you get in the ice of that thing, you just pull those up, you just keep going, because sooner or later you get up where the air's so cold that the water's not going to form on the wings. Now, if it's a Navajo,
what else
engine, unpressurized airplane that's used for medical transport, it's a piston-powered airplane. That airplane gets in the ice, that's a whole different kind of kettle of fish. So, I mean, there's a million different things that go into this. I just can't keep getting away from the fact that the way the airplane came down, which just tells me one of the two things.
Okay.
It was either it could have been a structural issue. Airplanes don't come down that fast. I mean, they just
they don't. So the victims in the plane, two doctors, one patient, a family member, and two pilots.
And what kind of structural issue would you think it could possibly be? What could we be looking at?
Well, believe it or not, what people don't realize is that the pilot can on either a 747 or the smallest Piper Cub, a pilot can pull the wings off of an airplane, and by yanking back. And so what happens is that we see this a lot, or even the tail. A pilot, I don't know anything about the pilots flying this airplane, but a pilot who is not well versed in flying an airplane on instruments gets into rough weather, they panic or they over control, and they literally can overstress the aircraft. And then that's the kind of
with this world.
Again,
I know,
I have
right?
no idea if that's what happened here, but I'm telling you all the different things it could be. So if you get a pilot that's basically disoriented,
don't see any helicopters in the area. Yeah, Al, if you can keep an eye on the flight tracker, because I can't seem to look at the flight tracker without having the live stream choppy
and light single aircraft that they build. But usually that's an accident that happens to people that are at 21,000 feet. They get too close to a thunderstorm and they pull the wings off the airplane. So
What about visibility, Fred? Like, would that have been an issue as well?
Well, the answer is to a professionally trained crew.
Thank you. When she starts seeing, and then see if you can do a playback to
piece of
see which
equipment,
plane it was.
All right, so that gets back to what I was saying earlier, that 700 feet. Once you go at 700 feet overcast, once you go through 700 feet of the climb, that's it. I mean, I've been in weather so bad that I can't see the tips of the wings of my airplane like that, and you have no visibility, and so you fly the airplane solely by reference to the instruments that are on the airplane. They could have had an instrument failure that didn't allow the pilots to keep the airplane upright in zero visibility conditions. Like so it could have been that. I mean, a lot of these airplanes today, like my airplane, all that stuff kind of computer driven. In the old days,
pretty crappy in California too.
The spun gyros that you use to keep the airplane upright in the clouds. So, could there have been an instrumentation failure that ended up being overstressing the airplane? Who knows? Could there have been icing that resulted in a stall in an effort to try and get out of that overstress the airplane? I mean, it could be a million different things. I mean, I'd love to know. I think the biggest piece of the puzzle that I'd like to get my hands on right now is what type of airplane.
And we'll go from there.
Yep.
Yeah. We're talking to Fred Tisi, a former Navy pilot, an aviation attorney, and many other things. Obviously, an expert in aviation. But there's two stories going on here. There's the plane crash that caused what happened in the sky, and then there's the search and rescue efforts for anybody on the ground in Northeast Philly at that Roosevelt Mall and any of those homes in the area that may have been hurt. I think it's probably safe to assume the worst for the folks on the plane. But we have no word yet on anybody on the ground who may have been hurt or worse.
I am not flying anytime soon. Thank you.
Row homes here, stores, people driving, innocent. Again, this is right at rush hour. This happened about 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. And this is a video by Steve Keeley. And just look at the debris field. I mean, that looks like just a terrible scene right after the plane crash, and you saw the fireball from a distance. This is up close.
Yeah, it looked like a missile.
Gas-fueled fires underground. So,
and pieces of the plane scattered everywhere. All over. They're on fire. Homes are on fire. Cars are on fire. I mean, it looks like a war zone out there.
It does.
It's very chaotic. It's frightening. We don't know the extent of any injuries on the ground right now. We're still trying to get that information. And as we have reported, we believe there were 6 people on that plane when it just took a nosedive out of the sky for reasons we're still trying to figure out.
So a massive response, and there you can see some firefighters. This is as close as our live camera
what's
can
next?
get. Now we've got Pico crews there.
Boat
so
accident.
Gas and electrical workers there trying to probably shut off all
space
of it
weather
in the area just as a precaution to get the fires out. That video up in the top left is from about 45 minutes ago. And at that moment, there was still smoke in the sky. Steve was having a hard time breathing, and a lot of folks in this neighborhood were having a hard time breathing, smelling jet fuel,
carrier pigeons,
and obviously several fires burning in scattered areas. Just chaos. Exactly what you'd think a terrible plane crash would look like in a very dense area. Unfortunately, that's what we're seeing in Northeast Philly.
Terrible.
And we bring in Fred once again to talk about this plane crash, and just a terrible coincidence here, Fred. When you talk about a mid-air collision and then a plane that virtually just fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple things are coming. So it's funny. So now, you guys can't report on this, but I'm tell you some of the things that I'm saying, which it gets back to kind of the speculation that I was saying earlier. There was a Lear 55 that operates as MTS, Medical Transport Services, that was scheduled to depart Northeast Philly, I think for Springfield, I want to say Springfield, Illinois. So if you go to flightaware.com, you can see scheduled departures from Northeast Philly. And that aircraft, a Lear 55, was scheduled to depart. And so that airplane would have a bunch of jet fuel on it. Some of a lot of the aviation rumors were starting to swirl around about an instrumentation loss, which is something we had talked about earlier.
Okay, so he's talking some speculations and stuff.
But with a Lear 55, that's what the airplane is. I mean, a Lear 55 is a very sophisticated airplane.
Affected area.
A Lear 55 and a highly trained crew, something kind of went catastrophically wrong.
And so you're saying, based on the flight aware data that you've looked up.
Check this out. Yeah. Check this out.
We're taking off. Taking off. Yeah, they locked the doors too.
Wow. Knock, 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 knock. Open up. Lear 55. Okay.
So we have scheduled departures out of Philly. Looking at flight away, right?
So they were taken off.
And there was another one, Canada Regional Jet, going to South Bend, Indiana. That airplane looks like it got where it was going. One of these Lears looks like it was still up
Lear
going
55.
where it's supposed to. So it's really hard to tell.
Let's see.
Kind of, what's going on. I mean, it's some people are saying it was a Lear. Some people are saying it was a Canada Regional Jet. So who knows?
Okay. Fred TC, thank you for joining us, giving us.
So Lear 55. So I think this is what it might look like. Yeah, it might, because it looks like it could be medical transport. So if it's like Lear 55 like this. Okay, let's get back to news.
And then, his reporter instincts kicking in, and he's going to need to sort of tell us what he's seeing, and he'll be joining us in just a moment.
And this is all happening shortly after 6 o'clock tonight.
It is a fast jet.
Bustleton and Cottman, the Roosevelt Mall, a small plane crashing into northeast Philadelphia. People seeing a plane taking a nosedive in the sky, and then you see on the left-hand screen there just a huge ball of fire, emergency crews, by dozens and dozens, all available. Fire, police,
let's see what else we can
EMS
find.
crews responding to the scene, which has been very chaotic. As we've talked to our Steve Keeley, he's having trouble breathing. He's trying to report the story. Governor Josh Shapiro also making a statement on X saying that he's going to make all available resources available to the city of Philadelphia, offering the mayor, the fire department, the police department, and the Office of Emergency Management any possible help that they could need in handling this huge crisis in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and my goodness, a jet, even as small it may be. Okay, we're just getting this video in. Okay, wow.
Oh my God.
We're probably going to play that a couple. Yeah, here you go. So watch this. You see that that comes down really fast.
My God.
And there's that huge fireball. Obviously loud. It shook the ground. That person obviously scared. No one thinks that something like that is going to happen. John, take a look at this with us. And you see this come down. It's just literally going straight into the ground.
It is going straight into the ground, and
I'm sure we'll find it. Somebody will find it later.
Light, I'm not sure whether that would be a landing light on the airplane or if it's something on fire. I mean, any of these are possibilities, but in the early moments after an accident like this,
doesn't it look like it was already on fire?
Of this or that, but
look, it looks like already it was on fire or something. You see that?
And you see that it looks
it was
almost
like really
that
plummeted all the way straight.
Landing lights on and reflecting from clouds, and I know it's a bad weather day there, so maybe part of it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. As it begins to come down fast, you can see what appears to be that light sort of bouncing off the clouds. My goodness, so that comes in really like a missile, and it's filled with jet fuel. John, how long does jet fuel burn? How difficult is it to put out? We saw the other video with parts of the plane, burning in the street.
If you have a pool of jet fuel, it doesn't take that much to put it out from a professional firefighter's point of view. But if you have ignited other things, then it becomes a difficult matter. And of course, depending on the atomization, so to speak, and it's reached the tank, and the tank is opened up and sprayed this out into the air, then you're going to have a faster, higher temperature burn.
And Sam, you just watched that video with us as well. This is a frightening piece of video.
It does look like
looks like it's from a doorbell camera.
Oh
and
my God.
immediately, you know, the other gentleman who we heard, who was a witness who was coming out of Wendy's, said he really didn't. He's earthquakey, a small
Oh,
earthquake
that's
is the way he
terrible.
described it. Well, that's
We've
certainly
got about
that
300
certainly looks
people
like it would
watching.
cause that.
Hit
And
that like
these two
button.
folks here got inside real quick.
And if you guys are on
Look,
Twitter,
I'm not going to
watching this on
speculate on
Twitter,
what
come back
happened
to
here, but
YouTube.
as John will confirm, this is a twin-engine jet aircraft. Twin-engine jet aircrafts typically don't
like
fall
about-
out of the sky.
Yeah.
So something catastrophically went wrong here. You know, small planes, propeller planes, they do crash quite frequently. But jet engines, planes with jet engines, 2 pilots on board.
Yeah, that's very true.
It doesn't happen very often. And the NTSB is going to want to know exactly what happened here. What we do know is this is a 43-year-old airplane, a Learjet 55 twin engine. And they're going to send a team there, and they're going to try to figure out what happened. Are there black boxes on board? We don't know.
What?
This is a plane that is registered
NTSB is
in
going to be
Mexico.
busy with their
We'll have to find that out.
investigation.
But as you can see, something catastrophically
2
went wrong
planes
when
in
it came
3
down like a
days.
missile.
2 planes in 3 days.
Yeah, and John, as we're looking at this, and I know we're staying on this because we're trying to get information, and this is now another angle. Okay, so now we can see in the forefront that looks like an apartment building. This is a live picture. Okay, so we're getting a live camera. This is the fire continuing to burn right now. It looks like part of that building is on fire. We did hear that first witness tell us that it went into buildings. Those were his words. Right now, I can see that apartment building. There are some commercial buildings in the forefront. But this really is one of those worst case scenarios when planes go down, John. You hope that at the very least they don't go down in a populated area.
Yeah,
but this
exactly.
looks like, I mean, there are apartment buildings. There's a Wendy's. There are gas stations, and we have seen from the video that we have from the scene at least one person on a stretcher being taken away. We would presume that there would be some injuries on the ground here too.
You know, there's certainly that's a totally non-survivable accident with respect to the people in the airplane, clearly. So the thing that chills me is that the acceleration that we're seeing at the last there before impact appears to be almost ×2 the descent rate at the beginning of that video. And of course, this could all be skewed by the angle, etc. But I've never seen one quite like this. Something catastrophic, as Sam said, and as I mentioned, I think it clearly happened to have this
crazy. All
airplane
right, let's get back
literally
into.
descend.
Let's get back into
30
this.
seconds after it took off, leading to this scene that we see here right near Roosevelt Mall in the parking lot, into stores.
Wait,
into
actually, no.
homes.
Hold on a second. Watch this. I want to get back to this one.
Complete
I
engine
think these guys
failure.
have
I mean,
better
why would a plane drop like
images.
The most likely situation
Whoa, look at all
would
the
be a
debris.
massive control problem, with complete loss of vertical control. We've heard reports of the engines roaring, and that would more likely indicate that they were still at takeoff power. But you know, it's not really speculation, guys, in terms of trying to figure out what are the parameters that you might be looking at. Speculation, in my view, would be saying, okay, well, here is the cause. That is out of bounds. But what we're doing here, I think, is talking about the fact that there are some extraordinary aspects to what we're seeing in that video and what the people experienced around there in responding to it. That just don't have a lot of precedent in my mind.
Discord.
Yeah, and there's nobody better to take us through this, John. We do appreciate it. It's tough when we don't know certain factors, but we, as you say, we can see with our eyes certain factors, and you know what's happening there. If you're just joining us, I want to let you know that this is Northeast Philadelphia. Earlier on, not long ago, a small plane was reported to have gone down. We have several images of it. That is an explosion off in the distance. We have eyewitness reports from the ground, people who watched this happen, that a plane just plummeted out of the sky into buildings. This is a commercial area. I believe we've also seen some apartments. I'm not 100% sure, Sam. Maybe you might be able to help us with that, but it certainly looked like this on the right side of your screen when the camera goes over is
low temperatures.
Let's watch this really fast.
I don't think it's so much the weather. I think there's something else that intervenes.
It was about 4 miles from the airport, from what our local affiliate has reported so far.
About
Does that
4
tell us
miles
anything
from
if
the
we were to have some
airport.
type of catastrophic mechanical failure?
Doesn't tell us much. It tells us it happened relatively quickly after takeoff. That much we do know. We don't know how high in altitude the aircraft had reached before the descent occurred, but what we do know is that shortly after takeoff, air traffic controllers lost contact with the aircraft.
When it happens earlier than maybe towards the middle or the end of the flight, does it make it any more difficult for the pilot to somehow try to save the flight, save the aircraft in any way, or there are just moments when you just can't?
It depends on the issue, and that's why it's always hard to kind of try to figure these things out until you get to the core questions. It's hard to know.
On jets like that, before takeoff, are they routinely inspected? Are they inspected at different points, throughout their flight hours? How does that work?
That's an airworthiness question. I think that would have to come down to someone from the agency who's dealing with certification.
Okay, Todd, we appreciate that. We're gonna listen back to our affiliate in Philadelphia on their ongoing coverage.
A lot of concern and worry from folks that we talk to, not just about can they get back to their homes and their vehicles, but also about those who are possibly, injured and those that could be dealing. So we're coming over here to the media, and they're being very diligent about pushing people away and out of the scene. Here's another vantage point we'll give you over here. We're now at the Philly Gas. This gas station is going to be, I can see it. We're live. Can we ask you a question by any chance?
Any comments right now?
No comments?
No, not right now.
Okay, sounds
We're
good.
going to get back to you.
Okay.
But we're going to somebody drop your phone. Oh my God. It's
Okay. Sorry, there's a phone right there. Yep. There's nothing you can say. We're live, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Appreciate you. Got you. Here. Okay.
Don't touch me, man. Don't touch me.
So we're
Go
still
away.
waiting for
Shoot.
that update. Tried to get us some information, but they didn't want to go on with anything. But here's the other view right now. We're at Cottman and Bustleton down at the other end, and I can tell you in the video that we have, and presumably some of the video that you've been showing, that is the area that was engulfed in flames. That was the area that had damage to the building. That was the area where some of those cars were damaged as well. So there's a lot going on right now.
Don't touch me.
We're being pushed back once again out of the road. So we'll send it back to you. Hopefully we'll be able to get some information to you guys soon on the record. It looks like they're starting to plan stuff right now, but let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron Baskerville live on the ground.
We're gonna move again?
Hearing that
Wow.
we can see right there that Aaron Baskerville and our crews are being asked to move. Deanna Durante, who's also there on the ground, says that she's hearing authorities telling people to leave on foot, even if they don't have transportation to get out of that area. Just the imperativeness of getting close to this plane crash and possibly residences that were damaged as well.
Traffic just that bad, they're telling people to walk instead of drive.
I believe we have Siobhan.
Well, yeah,
Navarro
I don't think they're gonna
joining us
get
now.
the car
Siobhan, what can you tell
anytime
us? Where are you
soon.
exactly?
Hey guys, we're right
Oh
in
my
that same
God.
spot Aaron just was, right here at Roosevelt and Cottman. They just told us to take a step back, but before they did, I was able to talk to that firefighter right there on scene. I said, hey, what are you seeing? Can you tell us? He says, we are far from that. Still very active, as you can see. They still have a lot of work to do here. I asked about evacuations. I was over on Rupert Street, and the police were starting to evacuate people there. Fire officials said, oh yes, evacuations are underway. You can see that smoke coming from the scene. Dozens of law enforcement and first responders here. They are telling us to push back right now. Somebody else can come, so we'll be on the move. All right. Thank you, sir. You got it. Thank you. As you guys can see, a very fluid situation right now. Still a lot of work happening. As our crews have been showing you, law enforcement,
See what else we can find.
fire all over. Driving here, even when I was driving in, you could see them making their way from different parts of the city to this scene. A massive response. The city calling this a major incident as they continue to respond and really get a handle on what's going on here. Get the full scope. So you can see right now we're sitting in the middle of Cottman. Smoke still billowing. as we continue to make our way, being pushed back. When I was coming in, I actually was able to come in from the neighborhood. If you know this area, you know there are a lot of businesses here, but there's also neighborhoods. A lot of people who live just beyond here on the other side of the avenue. People were being told again to leave their homes, but before that, it was this very tense
Police
and
are
stressful moment.
coordinating
People were
crowd
coming out their
control,
front doors, and
secured in
police
the
were saying,
area around the
"Stay
crash
in."
site,
Now we
focusing
know that
on
some
Bradford,
evacuations are
Cottman
underway over there.
Avenue.
They were pushing people back in that area as I was arriving on scene too. So again,
Okay,
very fluid. This is still an
so
active response, and we know
here's
this area will
some
be
of the
blocked off for quite
updates that I see. Okay, so the victims in the plane were 2 doctors, 1 patient, a family member, and 2 pilots. One victim was evacuated from a partially collapsed residence. At least 2 victims were injured as they ran from fallen debris. Police are coordinating crowd control and securing the area around the crash site, focusing on Bradford and Cottman Avenue. Let's see. So police have expanded the crime scene perimeter and securing the area with additional officers and crime scene tape. Police securing the Macy's parking lot, ensuring no vehicles move in the area, and police are using a drone to assess partially collapsed building on Calvert Street for any remaining occupants. Police are asking any displaced residents to meet in a giant parking lot so they can seek shelter in the bus temporarily. Police are responding to reports of additional aircraft debris found on Roosevelt Boulevard, further expanding the search area. Let's see. Aircraft was an air ambulance. And police are securing the area on Roosevelt Boulevard to deplane debris with metal barricades being set up. All right, so that's the updates so far.
Radio transmission when they were trying to figure out what happened, but they knew that there was a lost aircraft. They saw it, they had it, and then it was gone.
And you can tell, just as we anticipated when we first came on, we could tell by what we were hearing from early reports of law enforcement pushing people out and telling people to close their windows and evacuate, that at some point they would broaden this investigative scene. What's happening is the debris field has widened, and they are pushing people out as they begin to investigate and they begin their recovery effort in this crash. Reporters are being pushed out of that area. Folks who live in the area are being evacuated, told to walk, not drive, because of the level of traffic in that area. As we heard our Aaron Baskerville report,
that everybody's going live right now
at every corner. And as we are in the preliminary part of this investigation, we know that from information given to us from our meteorologist Brittany Shipp, that visibility around the time of this crash was 6 miles. Wind was between 5 and 12 miles per hour, and there was a low ceiling, so that would make for a challenging condition for jet travel tonight.
And we heard from Tracy Davidson that Governor Josh Shapiro put out a statement saying all Commonwealth resources are being used as they respond to Northeast Philadelphia. We also just received information and a statement from Philadelphia City Council Member Driscoll, Mike Driscoll, saying, "My heart is heavy as we continue to learn more about this tragic plane crash in Northeast Philadelphia. We're in direct communication with our emergency response team to monitor the ongoing impacts to the immediate and surrounding area. This is an active emergency response situation, sadly, with reported mass casualties." That is the first time we heard about that. We knew there were 2 people on board that plane, that medical jet, but according to the
viewers on
statement from Philadelphia City Council,
and 300 viewers
sadly
on
there were mass
X.
casualties. Right now, our focus is on the needs of our first responders on the ground, as well as the individuals and families impacted by this tragedy. We ask that people please avoid the area. We will continue to monitor as this unfolds. Our prayers are with everyone right now. Again, him echoing what we have heard so much from our reporters on the ground, people being asked to avoid the area. But it raises question about how many people could potentially, unfortunately, be impacted by this far beyond.
Sorry, it's that flight tracker. I'm gonna stop using it.
Beyond the people who were on that plane, on that medical jet.
We do know that there have been several vehicles that have caught fire, according to witnesses on the ground. We know 3 homes caught fire at St. Vincent's and Calvert. And we know that there have been numerous other businesses impacted by the crash here. This is video again that we showed you earlier that just shows you this is part of the investigative
flight
scene right here. This
number.
is the debris field. These are things that happened as a result of this plane crash that you're seeing right now. Things still on fire. And we know that things are still burning even at this hour from the plumes of
Hold on.
smoke that we see
I'm still
behind our
okay.
reporters
So
who are giving
it's
us a first
is it,
ground on feet
hold on
on
a
the
second.
ground
Let
appearance of what's
me
going on.
Again, to summarize what we know, a Learjet 55
hold on just one
crashed
second. I'm
around
I'm
6
scrubbing
o'clock
this right
this
now really
evening,
fast.
6:30 p.m. local time, we are being told. After departing from Northeast Philadelphia Airport, there were 2 people on board the plane en route to Springfield Branson National Airport in Missouri. The FAA, the NTSB investigating. We're being told that the NTSB is already gathering information. We also know that 3 homes caught fire. The location of those homes are at St. Vincent and Calvert. And we have heard from people on the ground that not only did they feel the ground shaking and saw an explosion, but we also know that there's just a lot of heightened anxiety because of what happened yesterday, because of that plane crash as well. People being asked to stay out of the area because of the fumes, because of the smoke, and to not get in the way of medical personnel who are trying to get to that scene.
I want to show you a piece of Nest video that's into our newsroom now to give you another view of exactly what's going on, of what we've seen this evening. Here it is right here. You can see exactly what happened. You know, that video also has a timestamp
I'm
on it as
scrubbing some
well. And if
radio
you
traffic
notice,
right
it's
now
pretty,
as I'm like
pretty
I'm listening
similar
to it while
to
you
the
guys.
timestamp that we saw on the other piece of video that we showed
Okay,
you.
so there's a
But yeah, as
flight
Jacqueline was just
data.
saying, we had reports of people who felt the ground
ADSB
shake. They saw vehicles
air
on
ambulance
fire,
jet
and
attempting to land
just
in
a
aborted,
very
climbed to
unnerving
1,600 feet, then descended rapidly.
predicament to find
Okay, it's
yourself
on
in
X
on a
right
Friday
now.
evening. In this scene right here, dozens of first responders on the scene, the emergency management office telling people to stay away. Heavy smoke is a big concern right now. Stay inside. They are staging a media area at Cottman and Bustleton. But as they do that, they're trying to evacuate people. We heard, I think it was Aaron Baskerville or either Siobhan McGurl say that the police commissioner was on the scene there. So presumably we expect to hear from him and get an update from him. We heard our Deanna Durante say that they were trying to get as many police officers who were available to be a part of the scene to control traffic.
All right, so check this out. So we have this right here so far. Somebody really just made that. So it's flight data from ADSB shows a Lear J-55 air ambulance jet attempted a landing, aborted, climbed about 1,600 feet, then descended rapidly into the buildings just outside Philadelphia. So this right here is kind of like a flight path. So the aircraft took off from Port-au-Prince, stopped in Miami, then headed to Philadelphia. All right, so this is the XAUCI. So let's see. So this is the jet. It's a jet rescue plane, XAUCI. There it is. This is the plane. TS-56, yeah. What is it? Tail XAUCI. Okay. Oh my God. So this is the jet, and then this is the path I guess it took at the flight radar. So 2 pilots, 2 doctors, 1 patient, family member, Angel Flight, medical flight. First guess there was an oxygen leak on the medical equipment causing flash fire on board. Could be. Departed at 5 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is the flight XAUCI. Wow. Oh my god. This I can't believe. Well, this flight radar is getting a lot of traffic, air traffic. No pun intended. Oh, this is okay. What is this? No, this is different. Something different. It's from San Jose. There you go. So it had. So it looks like it was trying to gain. Oh, okay. So what basically I see the airport. So it just took off from the airport, nearby airport, and it was gaining some elevation, and something happened, and it just went straight down. Yeah. Probably. This is, let's see. Yeah, we've already seen this video. Moment of impact. Oh!
What the hell?
What? Oh my god.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! What the hell?
What?
What the hell? What the hell?
Why? Oh my
Oh my
god.
god!
This guy is screaming out.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! What the hell?
Oh my god.
What the hell? Yo!
Viewer discretion advised.
Oh my god!
Let me put this in here.
Allahu Akbar!
Viewer discretion advised. Let's edit this one. This is crazy. Viewer discretion advised. Oh my god, this is nuts. Whoa.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! What the
Whoa.
hell? What the hell?
So this is the plane, I guess. There's a picture of it. Wow. Crashed on takeoff. All right, so this crashed on
Flight
takeoff.
radar data. It looks like it had just gained a little bit of altitude and then basically dropped out of the sky. This thing looked like a missile when it hit the ground. I couldn't even believe it. It didn't even look like an airplane. But you can see here the flight radar data is showing exactly where the crash is said to have taken place right after lifting off.
This
You
is
can see
short.
the registration number was XA-UCI, and there were some pictures of the tail or the plane number itself in the debris. So it looks like, again, this was a medical
they got
plane.
this. So
More
yeah.
details coming in. All right,
Crashed
that's
on
all I got right
takeoff.
now.
Yes.
All right, everyone, quick video. It looks like this plane
Okay.
crashed on takeoff. You can see it right here.
All right, so it was X, and then he showed the plane. There you go. So there you go. This is XAUCI. So this is confirmed. Oh my god. So there's some flight aware. Okay, let's see. This one. So just took off. And yeah, it looks like, wow. So I was trying to gain some elevation and something happens on board and it just took off. Yeah, NTSB is going to have their hands full. This is a third plane crash. Third plane crash in 3 days. 3 days. This is nuts. All right, so this is pretty interesting. Somebody already did this. Flight data. Oh my god. Okay, so something happened and it went just like, phew. Wow. That's nuts. That's crazy. Well, that confirmed the number. Yep, that definitely confirmed the number.
And then hitting the ground there, we know 6 people were on board that jet, but do we know if people on the ground may have been injured? I know that there was a stream of ambulances that seemed to be flying by a little bit earlier. Any word on anyone on the ground that might be hurt?
No, not yet. We have not gotten that information yet. That's another question that we have. We just, when we were moved over to this area from another staging area, we were told that it may be a while before we get a really full rundown of exactly what happened. They are really just still gathering things here on the ground, and there are still active scenes. But
there's
no,
an
we don't have
audio.
any information yet about who may have been or whether people have been injured here on the ground.
And this happened, I mean, it's a busy Friday night from the looks of it. A lot of people in the streets there. I imagine the mall, a lot of people were there shopping. The scene looks so chaotic.
Wow.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's very congested. It's been very chaotic. People have been trying to figure out how to get around. And Gadi, what you just said, that's absolutely true. It's a Friday night here in Philadelphia, and
Here,
this
let's
is an
see.
area where not just where people live, where they may be coming home from
I'm not
work
gonna
or
do radio
trying to get home
traffic.
from work, but it's also
I
an
found the
area where
radio
you've got,
traffic. I'm not gonna do it
McDonald's and you've got the
because last
mall
time
and
we
you've
did it
got
with
other
our
areas where
stream
people
got
might be
suspended.
stopping on their way home or just spending some time on a Friday night, which makes this all the more difficult. You've got the road, which is extremely busy. It's actually one of the most busy and dangerous for vehicular traffic in Philadelphia. You've got the residential area, the neighborhoods here, and you've got this commercial corridor with the mall, strip malls all along Roosevelt Boulevard with places that people have been trying to get in and out of, and clearly can't get very many places here tonight.
Yeah, it's insane to see it stretching across all 3 of those. And yet, you know, I hate to say it, but this follows what we just saw in Washington,
Watch
D.C.
them
I don't know
making
if you've
this
had a chance to
political
talk
again.
to some of the witnesses or just people that are out there, but
I would hate
those
for
that
them to
looked
make
up and
this
saw this
political.
happen or saw that fireball, what did they think was happening here?
Wow.
Yeah, Gadi, I haven't been on the scene for very long, so I haven't had the chance to talk to people yet, but certainly that's on people's minds. We've all been watching that play out in Washington, D.C. Not only that, but that's not that far from here, as you know. It's a couple of hours from here. People have been watching it play out, but it doesn't feel that far away. So certainly the other thing is that there's not a lot of information yet. So that's concerning as well in terms of understanding what the scope of it is, understanding whether their family or neighbors may be involved, and how large the debris field is, what buildings may have been impacted, where those fires may have been. It will certainly, I'm sure, make people feel a little bit better when we can get a little bit more information as police and medical personnel are able to get a handle on things and bring that information to us.
Lauren Make from WCAU on the ground there. And Lauren, I'm watching another screen. It looks like one of your colleagues is on the move, moving from one of the staging areas to somewhere else. So we're going to dip back into your coverage
they
at
had
WCAU, NBC Philadelphia,
pilots,
and listen into what
doctors,
we're seeing right
patients.
now.
What's going on here? Obviously, this is something that never happens.
There was
you
a
don't
6
have
on
a
board.
plane go down in the middle of a neighborhood with thousands and thousands of people here and homes right around the
There was
corner.
6 on
So
board.
we are coming right back up here to Cottman and Bustleton, and obviously I'm with Mark. He's doing a fantastic job. You know, there's just the conditions out here as well for first responders. It's been raining
They're interviewing
for hours,
kids.
so you can just imagine the difficulty of controlling traffic,
No, there's like
maneuvering
some
cars
other
through all this.
news
People
station that
can't
was
see that
interviewing
well,
children.
so But this is where we were at before. So this was, we've walked, it feels like miles. So we're back to Cottman and Bustleton, right?
Yeah,
And you're
6
being
on
able to
board.
see it from this vantage point as well. Just all the first responders that are down there. I would try and walk in the middle of the street, but I know that we'll probably get yelled at. So I won't try and give us another vantage point. But I know the last
Yeah,
time you
probably
saw
gonna
me,
get
I
yelled
was
at.
trying to get some information from one of the leadership over at the fire department, but they were still working on trying to set up that staging area, and they were pushing people back then. And so we still don't have that official word and press conference, but as Mark tries to creep closer, the rain is getting harder too, which doesn't do any help for first responders, but of course will do help for putting out those putting out the smoke and any leftover hot spots or flames that are being or at the building over there. But I'll try and sneak over here as well.
That the airplane was probably underpowered because it appears to be accelerating down at a higher rate of speed or a higher acceleration rate than would be accounted for with the engines at idle.
And as we continue to watch these videos that have come in, when you have time to watch them over and over, it gets more devastating because there's one car on fire, then there's another car on fire. Sam, I know you're looking at some videos and information. The information you're giving us, not all the videos we can show because some of them are quite graphic. What have you been able to see since last we spoke?
Phil, there's going to be a crater wherever this plane went down, and everyone who was in that area heard something. This was, as that man described, this was a massive explosion, like a bomb, a missile.
All right, here you go, guys. So this one is where the plane is going and disappeared.
Ambulance sign symbol on the plane, showing us that it was a medical aircraft that was a part of the fuselage in a shopping center parking lot, and people just standing around. This is going to be a horribly long, horrific night and a scene there in Philadelphia. And we are waiting for a media update there. Philadelphia Fire says they're not responding to individual media requests right now. And at the appropriate time, they will do a media update there.
Oh my God!
And
okay.
look, that in and of itself is a piece of information to share with viewers.
Check this out.
Misericórdia. E era avião relacionado com alguma coisa de emergência.
Oh my God! There's a debris.
Você tá louco?
Whoa!
Que loucura.
Wow!
Wow! I gotta go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whoa! 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 Back up! Get away! Get away! Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, there's another huge piece of debris right there.
Galera do céu, vocês não estão entendendo. A loucura que tá isso aqui.
Wow.
Um tanto de peça. Olha lá onde tem fogo ali, ó.
If you maintain it appropriately, you can operate one of these airplanes, or just about any airplane, indefinitely. You take a look at, and I know it's a military airplane, but the B-52s. There is not a single B-52 flying that is that has an aircraft commander that is as old as the
flight
airplane.
crew, they
These are
have
50, 60 years
captain,
old, and they'll probably
plus
be going
first
for another 50
officer,
years.
ICU
So
physician,
it has to do with the maintenance and how much
paramedic,
tender loving care you put
and
into it,
capacity one
and the
intensive care
engines and the
patient,
maintenance in
and
that
then one
situation too.
other patient
So
on
this,
board.
the fact I was going to mention this earlier, the fact that it's 43 or 45 years doesn't tell us much.
Okay, that's good to know. Pedro Evangelista is on the phone right now. Pedro, thanks for standing by. Tell us where you are and what it is that you saw and heard.
When that happened, I was driving to the corner of Cottman and Roosevelt Boulevard, and I saw like a red in the sky, and I was seeing something that was falling down, and I heard a crash, and I tried right away to the front. It was like a few people running, burning. It was very, very crazy.
I'm sorry, Pedro, you said you saw a few people running and they were on fire?
There was one guy that was in front of the Dunkin' Donuts he was on fire. He was running.
Oh my God!
Was running across the street.
Pedro, how often are you in this area? And I mean,
This
what
guy on
I can't
fire?
imagine what you thought when you saw this. What is it that went through your mind?
I live around. I live like 3 minutes away from where that happened, and this is very, very, very sad because I heard a few people that was in the house that they died.
All right, we are trying to confirm all sorts of reports. We haven't been able to confirm that, but we certainly did see, an apartment. It looked like an apartment building that had been part of this debris site. Pedro, were you headed to the plaza?
Yes. I was in the plaza until the police arrived and the fire truck. I was there until they arrived and they take me out. But it was very, very, very crazy around there. Fire everywhere.
This is a live camera that we have there. You can still see that there's smoke in the air. I don't see flames from this vantage point, but it looks like they're still trying to put out some of the fires that are there.
Wow.
Pedro, what happened after you saw this? Did you get out and try to go toward it, or did you just get out of the area?
To be honest with you, before I realized it was a plane, I was thinking there was a bomb or something like that because. And after that happened, I run away. I left my car in the middle, and I started running away. And then I came back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. It must have been a terrifying thing to see. All right, Pedro Evangelista, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, these are some still pictures that are coming in now. John, if you have any information about these outside of what we're seeing, let me know. But that does look like that apartment area. I don't know if it's a complex that we saw. Sorry? Yeah, row homes. Yeah, a lot of row homes in Philadelphia, and that's exactly what that looks like. The house after house, they're connected. In the fire that we saw burning earlier on, it looked like it was on the edge. So this picture looks like it's taken from the other side, but clearly that was hit as well.
Okay.
I just want to be clear. Pedro, the eyewitness.
So I do need to get some food, and I'm gonna go meet a friend for dinner. But anyways, well, this was interesting, and I was not going to go live again. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Hold on just 1 second. What's going on in here? Ooh, hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. What's going on in here? What is this? Really fast. Of course, there's some commercials and stuff. So this is the live tracker. Come on, commercials. Close them. Close. All right, so this looks like... Okay, so... Thank you, TF, by the way. Thanks for this. All right, so this is where the plane came in and then started taking off. And disappeared right here. So it literally just took off. Wow. Oh, this is terrible. All right, you guys. I was not gonna go live again for another airplane crash, but this is what happens in our emergency management lives. Sometimes stuff happens and you have to just kind of respond and talk and everything and see. I know we broke the news first. We broke the news first on YouTube. But no, everybody else is live. Feel free to go and check out their channels and then what they're talking about. I'm going to keep my eyes. I'm gonna keep the updates and everything, and then I'll go live tomorrow about it as well, and then see where just kind of see the updates, and maybe they'll be able to give us a little bit more information. And I'm sure there's going to be some press conferences about it as well, and I'm sure that like NTSB is gonna have their hands full with all these different investigations, and yeah, and then I'm pretty sure this gonna be made into political thing again, and like as all the latest disasters that we had. But thank you guys so much for sticking around, and remember your friendly neighborhood emergency manager. Keep it cool, too, and stay amazing. Peace. Play outro.